For the youth, right?
Yeah.
Demand data privacy. You are not a commodity. Two, you have a right and a duty to demand answers to questions that affect your future. You don't have to be an expert on these issues, but you have a right to demand answers to the people whose decisions will impact your future. So I would suggest 4 questions. First question of every politician: what are you doing to end poverty? We have the technological and institutional ability to do it. We're lacking the political will. 2, what are you doing to protect the climate and the environment? 3, what are you doing to eliminate nuclear weapons? Now, don't think just because you're in Mexico that you don't influence the agenda. Mexico, in fact, was the country that started a movement that has now brought 115 nations into nuclear weapons-free zones. I think there should be an international day honoring Ambassador Alfonso Garcia Robles. We hear of these great heroes who are athletes and singers and rich people. This man stopped a nuclear arms race in Latin America, led by inspiration to a nuclear weapons-free zone in Africa, the South Pacific, Southeast Asia, and Central Asia. That kind of work should be honored. He's a national hero that every school child should know about. Next, I think we should have compulsory jurisdiction in the International Criminal Court. Imagine if your domestic court was such that if you committed a murder and you said, well, I just don't like the court, I'm not going. That's essentially what we have with the International Criminal Court. It must have compulsory jurisdiction. Also, we need an international and national environmental courts. Trees can't talk. We have to talk for them. And we don't have courts specifically protecting our human right to a clean environment. And we need an international human rights court. And last but not least, all law has to rest on culture and values. And the most universal ethical value is the golden rule. If you breach it in your daily life, I promise you, you'll be miserable. The international community breached it after World War I and just punished Germany. We were rewarded with the chaos of Nazism. After World War II, it was applied with the Marshall Plan, building up the vanquished, ending up with trading partners and greater security. So not only do we have to treat one another with respect as we want to be treated, but nations have to apply the golden rule. To have a culture of peace, we have to demand nations treat other nations as they want to be treated. And last, change the heart, change the system, not the climate.